Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's broadcast. This broadcast is a product of Shry Media, LLC. Unauthorized use, sale, or redistribution of this media in any form is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of Shry Media. Radio and television mediums are encouraged to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the game.
Good morning. It is 5 versus 8. You have the number 5 seeded Montreat and number 8 seeded Columbia International. We are on day 3 of the AAC Softball Championships at the Brickyard Park in Kingsport, Tennessee. I am Deshaun Bullock along with Jeff Campbell. So far, these last 2 days, they have been a lot of action, a lot of drama, and starting off the day again where we have 2 elimination games.
Yeah, win or go home right here. And, as we were walking in this morning, had the opportunity to watch both these teams, warm up and get loose. And it looked like they were locked in and should be a very entertaining softball game for you here on the Southeast Sports Network.
Absolutely. And we come in today after Montreat was able to eliminate Milligan in an elimination game yesterday. That was the 11 o'clock game. CIU, they took a loss to Reinhardt. That was a run rule where it was 8-0. So, winner goes home. Well, winner continues. Losers goes home. First pitch called strike. It's now in the circle. We will see a familiar face that we saw from day one, which is Victoria Alcantar.
Yeah, does a good job in the circle. A lot of control, a lot of speed, a lot of movement, and that's exactly what Montreat's looking for today to keep these CIU hitters off balance.
Last game that she appeared in, pitched 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, struck out 4 batters. So she had a great game, but it got to the point where Johnson had figured her out in that circle. They had to pull her out. Carter Thornton did come in as the relief pitcher. Up to bat, you have Abigail Guthrie, who led off yesterday against Reinhardt.
Yeah, Guthrie 2 for 5 in this tournament. Solid leadoff hitter for Columbia International. That's what you want out of your leadoff hitter. You know, seeing a lot of pitches here. First at-bat of the day. And like you said, Deshaun, we've seen several times through this tournament that the second time through the lineup, we'll see a pitching change.
So it's all about, for CIU, if they could just get on that board, get those hits going, get on base. Yesterday in the game against Reinhardt, they were held to 3 hits, 3 fielding errors. Reinhardt had 8 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Guthrie went 1 for 3 yesterday. Alcantar takes the pitch. Guthrie will get that hit right in the left center. Guthrie will make her way to second. Lead off double.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting from Guthrie. Patient in the count, waited, got the one she wanted. Caught one elevated over the heart of the plate, drove it hard into center field. Leadoff runner aboard for the Rams.
And so now we'll have Megan Stosenbach, who will be leading off as the second batter. She was the leadoff hitter on day 1. Yesterday in Reinhardt, she went 0 for 1, struck out once. They saw fast pitching with Pettit in the circle from Reinhardt.
Yeah, Reinhardt looked really good. We'll see them later on this afternoon.
And you got to believe Stosenbach is going to be very, very prepared to get on base, get some hits for this team. She was the leading hitter on the season for CIU.
Yeah, she's due. Not yet to get a hit in this tournament, but a very capable player.
As that will be grounded right to Maggie Knight. Maggie Knight gets it to Jasmine Rochelle at first. That will advance Guthrie over.
1 away here in the top of the first inning. But more importantly, it moves Guthrie to third. 60 feet away from putting a run on the board for the Rams.
So now Dallas Mayers went 1 for 2 yesterday. She had that base hit against Reinhardt. So now Alcantar will take this next pitch. Right in that zone. 0-1 count.
Yeah, Deshaun, I've been really impressed with Mayers. 1 for 3 on Monday, 1 for 2 yesterday, playing shortstop, and just a phenomenal athlete for Columbia International.
So now that is hitting the foul territory, 0-2 count.
Alcantar doing a good job on Mayers, working that outside part of the plate.
So 2 count. Alcantar looking to take this next pitch. Mayers. That will be hitting the right field. Guthrie will make her way home. Can she get tagged out on time? She is safe. Catcher was blocking the plate. First run scored.
Yeah, just Dallas Mayers doing a job. Gets the ball in the air to right field. Allows Guthrie to tag and score. First run of the game on the board. And it's courtesy of Columbia International.
Now Kaden Thompson, who will be up to bat. Yesterday she went 0 for 3. Day one, she had that home run that put CIU right over Columbia College.
Yeah, Caden Thompson, a phenomenal hitter. That was a 2-run home run that may not have landed yet.
So now Thompson, that will drop right into center field. She will start off going 1 for 1 today.
2-out single for the cleanup hitter, Caden Thompson. Another runner aboard here in the top of the first for the Rams.
Designated player, Riley Stewart, 0 for 1 yesterday.
Stewart from Garner, North Carolina, batting from the left side, wearing number 22.
That one headed into foul territory. Yesterday she came in as a pinch hitter. Actually pinch hit for Stosenbach yesterday. She ended up striking out looking. So now for her, she's going to want to continue this inning for CIU, try to see if they can add another run. Checks with the umpire. She did go 0 for 2. So 0-2 count, 2 outs on the board.
A little half-hearted swing from Stewart. A little undecided on the changeup. Called strike.
That one a bit outside of the zone. 1-2 count. So 1-2 count. Stewart on first. Montreat looking to get out of this inning, only giving up 1 run.
I think Columbia International wanted to come out and put something on the scoreboard early on. And
that is going to be popped right into the mid of Alcantor. So escaping with only 1 run given up, 2 hits for CIU. We will see exactly what Montreat can do after this quick break as they will lead off. Macy Dry will be the next batter when CIU comes back. Abby Wyatt will lead off for Montreat here with SESN at AAC Softball Championships in Kingsport, Tennessee. As we enter the bottom of the first, we will see the freshman, Isabella Davis. She will be returning to the circle after a day one impressive effort that she had. Got the win against Columbia College. She will now be in the circle. Look at some of her numbers that she had from day one. Isabella Davis, 4 hits given up, no runs to shut them out, and she struck out 6 batters.
Yeah, just a great performance from Davis in the circle. Just a freshman, but she was pitching like a senior in that opening round win over Columbia College.
So now Abby Wyatt, who went 1 for 4 yesterday. First pitch called strike for Davis.
Good start for Davis.
Davis looking to try to bring some heat, put those pitches right more on the inside. That is hitting the foul territory. Quick 0-2 count.
Yeah, Davis, when she did get in a little trouble on that opening round victory, she got behind in the count. Looking to change that here today.
And also hitting the foul territory, keeps it at an 0-2 count. So now Davis, she'll let us take this next pitch. That one to be on the outside. 1-2. So season on the line for both teams, as that is going to be hit right in the center. Stosenbach will get that put out. First out of the inning. That will bring in the next batter of Amaya Hernandez.
Fielder number 12, Amaya Hernandez.
My Hernandez, a fantastic hitter for Montreat.
That outside pitch, stretching that zone. First pitch called strike.
Hernandez, like her approach, taking some pitches.
You see Davis trying to have that same mindset she had on day one, stretching that zone out, throwing outside pitches, throwing inside pitches, seeing what Montreat will swing at. That one a bit high in the zone will be called for a ball, 2-1 count.
Hernandez, you know, a great hitter, has the ability to square one up. So Davis being careful not to leave anything over the heart of the plate, really working that inside corner, keeping that one low.
That one low in the dirt. Now the advantage for Hernandez, 3-1 count. Going to keep an eye on this next pitch from Davis.
Called strike right on the inside corner. Great pitch from Isabella Davis.
Now Davis. Outside pitch, Hernandez makes her way to first. First batter will be walk. So her first at bat results in a walk. Now you have Maggie Knight.
Number 40, Maggie Knight.
Maggie Knight, another player on this team that had some great contributions. She went 1 for 3 in the game against Milligan. Also had 2 RBIs.
Yeah, Maggie Knight just a hitting machine in their victory over Milligan yesterday. Bats from that left side, a lot of power.
Right down the middle, that will be called a strike. 1-1 count. It's now Isabella Davis. She'll take this next pitch. Knight getting some contact on that.
Well, fouling it off, staying alive. That's what you see a lot of great hitters do. They just have that barrel control, zone recognition, able to just foul stuff away they don't like.
It's Knight going for the double play, try to get her out. That is going to be a throwing error to first.
The ball goes in the dugout trying to turn the double play, so it's going to allow the runner from first to go on to second.
So Hernandez was out on that play.
Now batting left fielder, number 22, Haley Fethke.
Knight will move to second, and that'll bring Haley Fethke to the plate.
So she did reach an off-fielder's choice, throwing error.
Oh yeah, I know. But it is TH, so it's Fethke. You would think it's Fethke, you know, but Fethke.
That first pitch was called a strike. Fethke, what she did yesterday just lit up Milligan.
It's not a natural.
Yeah, she was 1 for 3 with 3 RBI against Milligan, and then 1 for 4 with an RBI in their opening round game versus Johnson.
And that home run started that third inning rally against Milligan. Milligan started off 4-1 lead, and then Montreat put on a 7-run inning in the bottom of the third in that elimination game.
That's what Montreat's offense has the ability to do, but just not in this inning.
Isabella Davis right down, strikes out Haley Fethke. Now, Montreat will end this inning, not adding any runs, no hits. With 1 runner left on base, we'll take us a quick break and we'll find out if CIU can add some more offense in this next inning here of Southeast Sports Network.
for CIU.
Top of the second, we have Macy Dry, who will be leading off for CIU. Macy Dry yesterday 0 for 2 in the day. Looking to wipe the 0 for off and try to get some hits going today. Get that offense rolling for CIU. That first pitch was outside, 1-0 count.
Puts up 1 in the first. Holds Montreat scoreless 1-0 here in the top of the second inning.
Inside pitch a little too far inside. That would bring it to a 2-0 count.
Both these teams fighting to stay alive here in the AAC Conference Softball Tournament.
This field has drawn down to 8 teams now. After today, you go down to 6.
Yeah, just keep whittling away and eventually crown a champion on Friday.
Winner of this game will move to Game 13 tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. and they will face the loser of the Johnson and Reinhardt game that will be happening at 3 o'clock. That is a swing and a miss called strike.
Big cut from Dry there. Just couldn't catch the offering from Alcantar.
That one is hitting the foul territory. Rochelle Digg still get under that just in case.
Yeah, you always want to field it. Make sure you kill it in foul territory. Don't want anything crazy to happen. Bounce back fair.
So 2-2 count.
Well, that got her. Hit by the pitch will put Dry on first with no one out here in the top of the second inning.
So now Lily Petty
The catcher, number 8, Lily Petty.
makes her way for her first at-bat today. Lily Petty 0 for 2 yesterday. With no outs on the board, Dry on first, Alcantar will look to take this pitch.
Huh? Bluefield is?
Went for the bunt, kind of hit her right in that face mask. That'll be hitting the foul territory.
Yeah, lucky for Petty, she was still in the batter's box. If she would have been out of the batter's box, she would have been called out. But just fouled it right off the top of the barrel. And she'll have another go.
CIU's not a bad team. They're kind of pesky.
So now she'll take this next pitch. One far on the inside, call for a ball.
They beat Milligan 2 every just like St. Andrews. Sure did. What a weird year.
So 1-1 count, no outs on the board. Alcantar that one hitting the foul territory, 1-2 count. Victoria Alcantar so far, she has 1 inning pitch, 22 total pitches, no batter struck out just yet. 1 earned run. Thornton on the outside is keeping herself warmed up just in case. CIU looking to try to make sure that Montreat use those extra arms as Petty gets contact that is also in the foul territory. Keeps it at a 1-2 count. Macy Dry still on first.
Nobody out for the Rams. And that's, middle to the bottom half of your lineup here in this inning for Columbia International. And we'll try to advance some runners. The more plate appearances you get, the more likely you are to score. It's really a simple equation. They're being very patient in the box, making Alcantar open up her bag of tricks on her pitches.
Absolutely. That keeps it at a 2-2 count. Now she'll take this next pitch. Swing and a miss. First strikeout for Victoria Alcantar. That will bring in the first out of this inning.
And that was a big out. Petty had worked a deep count. Had seen a lot of pitches. Just overpowered her with a fastball. Records the out number 1 here in the top of the second inning.
So now takes this first pitch. That one is on the outside. Ball 1. Carmela Corte making her first at bat today. Carmela Corte yesterday 0 for 2. The only 3 players who got a hit yesterday was Caitlin Elko, Abigail Guthrie, and Dallas Mayers for CIU. So you know there's a lot more batters. As I saw them in warm-ups this morning, focused on definitely getting more contact on the ball.
Yeah, they were. Off a tee, hitting into a pop-up net, and anytime you see people hitting off a tee, it's what you're looking for. You're looking for contact. You're looking for to get that feel, to get the confidence up in your swing, sort of fine-tune it a little. And Columbia International getting a lot of tee work in this morning.
That last check swing that was on the outside, 2-1 count. Alcantar. That one is hit right for.
Wow.
That's a great flip.
What a play over at second base.
It's just a casual flip.
Elena Hernandez, a backhand pickup with a flip to short to retire dry. She was trying to go to second. That'll put 2 down. Corte on first with Noriega coming to the plate.
Now Corte is at first, 2 outs on the board. Noriega, she'll hit it right past short. Corte advances to second. Noriega to first. CIU hit number 3 for the day.
Yeah, Noriega, she wasn't seeing many pitches. She liked that first one, jumped all over it. Nice single into left field for the third baseman for Columbia International.
Beautiful contact on that. So now, 2 runners on, back at the top of the lineup with Guthrie. She'll take this first pitch that a little bit far on the inside, but that's a beautiful pitch. Called strike.
Yeah, Alcantar just ran that one in. Caught the inside corner, strike 1 to Guthrie. She led off this game with a double back in the first inning.
So now Guthrie hits that right into center field. 2 runners left on. Montreat escapes this inning, not giving up any runs.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors.
So if 1 hit, what can we see
Headed to the bottom of the second.
for
CIU leads 1-0.
Montreat's offense going into this next inning?
They got to get some bats going. I mean, it's just a thing of, seeing pitches, being confident in your swing, getting one you like, and that's a little bit easier said than done with Davis in the circle for Columbia International. But Montreat been a solid hitting softball team all season, and those bats will come to life here at some point.
We'll find out going into the bottom of the second here at Southeast Sports Network in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Stay connected with the Appalachian Athletic Conference and the Southeast Sports Network all season long. Follow along on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X for the latest scores, highlights, and exclusive content. Don't miss a moment. Visit their websites and get connected today.
And Instagram, same with the softball tournament. We have a lot of action this week.
A lot of action. The baseball's going on already across town. Gabe Sherry, Gary Justice on the call on the Southeast Sports Network.
That first pitch a bit high, called for a ball. Isabella Davis back in the circle. Has already struck out a batter.
Yeah, just 4 batters faced for Davis in that first inning. Kayla Reed at the plate now, the designated player.
So Michaela Reed gets some contact on that. That is going to be heading to foul territory. Kayla Reed yesterday, she was part of that 10-hit day for Montreat. Went 1 for 3 yesterday, 2 RBIs. Was walked once. As now she will be retired. Second strikeout of the day for Isabella Davis, just continuing what she's done in this conference tournament.
Yeah, nice pitch, nice approach to, to read in and out, and then got her on the strikeout to record the first out of the bottom of the second inning for Columbia International.
First pitch, bit low on outside. That will be called a ball, 1-0 count. Jasmine Rashall at bat. 2 for 2 yesterday, 2 walks, 1 run scored. She was one of those players that also helped Montreat rally back against Milligan.
Yeah, had a nice game at the plate. I mean, just, move runners, hard hit. This Montreat lineup is deep. They've got some ladies that can absolutely, they know the situation, the situation they're in, especially in this elimination game. They have the ability to square one up, so just a matter of time.
Next pitch was a bit high, 2-2 count. Isabella Davis looking to retire this next batter, continue this quick inning of work. Inside pitch, finds the inside corner. That is another strikeout in this inning.
Isabella Davis setting them up, mowing them down. 2 consecutive strikeouts here in the bottom of the second. Nice performance thus far by Davis.
So now she'll take this pitch.
Davis yet to allow a hit today. Only one batter reaching first base, Amaya Hernandez in the first via the walk. Davis very efficient in the circle.
Shortstop Dayton Kell up to bat. We're at 1 for 3 yesterday. Had 1 RBI. So right now it's a 2-0 count, has the advantage. Davis looking to take this next pitch. That one is going to be popped up into foul territory.
Very, very smart play.
Absolutely.
By the third baseman for Columbia International, Sophia Noriega. Had the backspin on it. She let it hit going to foul territory. No way you're going to throw Kell out with her speed.
That's just understanding the situation.
Situational awareness is very, very important to a successful softball team. Columbia International displaying it on that one.
So 2 outs on the board, 2-1 count. Davis. She'll take this next pitch. That one fast, a little bit low in the dirt. That will bring it to a 3-1 count.
Yeah, way ahead in the count. Had room to throw a low one out of the zone. Try to get Kell to chase.
Got contact that goes right into foul territory in the left field.
Yeah, hammered that one right in on her hands. Too close for Kell to take, so she just disposes of it down the third base line. Count will remain 3-1.
This time she will get contact, and that will stay in play. First hit of the day for Dayton Kell.
There's a nice piece of hitting by Kell. Fouled one similar to that off down the third base line. That one a little more over the heart of the plate. Drove it hard in the 5-6 hole. Reaches first base. First hit of the day for Montreat.
And now Hernandez will pop that right in the right field. So CIU escapes this inning, only giving up 1 hit, leaving 1 runner on. We will now see if CIU's offense can continue what they're doing, build some more hits, and then try to drive in some more runs. We'll find out after this quick break here with Southeast Sports Network and AAC Softball Championships. Top of the third action as we have. Victoria Alcantar will be returning to the circle. So far, 2 innings of work. 1 batter struck out. Megan Stosenbach will make her way up to bat. Had a sack bunt in her last go.
Stosenbach, the center fielder for the Rams. Seen her make some nice plays out in the grass for Columbia International this week.
Leading off, the center fielder, number 25, Megan Stolzenbach.
Bats from the left side. Columbia International here, 1-run lead, top of the third. Love to get this leadoff runner on. Move her around, put her in a scoring position.
Here we go, top of the third action. First pitch, that one is going to be called for a ball, 1-0 count.
Nice eye by Stolzenbach. That one about a ball outside, not giving chase.
This time back right in the zone. 1-1 count. Megan Stolzenbach looking to try to get her a hit. CIU with 3 hits on the day so far, 1 run scored, 1 fielding error. Takes this next pitch. That more on the inside. Got a little bit of contention in the crowd. They felt like that was a strike, but that does go down as a ball. 2-1 count. So now Alcantar takes this next one. Stosenbach got some contact on that. That will be a foul ball. 2-2 count. CIU in the bright yellows today. Montreat in the gold.
I love those bright yellow uniforms from Columbia International. Just sort of pops out there on the infield dirt.
They've had quite the different combinations this week for the tournament with the navies and the bright yellows. This time Stosenbach. That will drop right in right field. Stosenbach sees it. She'll take an opportunity to go right to second. She'll dive right there, throwing error, but she's going to try to make her way to third, and she will make it safely.
I said get the leadoff hitter aboard and move her around. Stosenbach did all of the above. Got on board, moved herself around, standing on third with nobody out here in the top of the third inning.
That hit just hugging that right field line. Saw the opportunity to take her way to second, and then with the throwing error, she decided to just take her way straight to third.
Yeah, heady base running. Love the effort on the slide, and then she had a great view of the ball rolling into the outfield. Knew she could get to third easily.
As now Stosenbach makes her way right home.
A little suicide squeeze work to perfection. Stolenbach scores, and Mayer's out at first, but a nice play, nice execution from Columbia International.
The first baseman, number 18.
Mayers does the job. She'll get thrown out.
It was a well-placed bunt right in front of the pitcher. Stosenbach using her speed, seeing it off the bat, beating the throw.
It's now Thompson. She'll put that right in the outfield. Right in the center, that will be another put out. So second out of the inning.
The DP, number 22, Raleigh Stewart.
Now Raleigh Stewart. 0 for 1 on the day so far, last at bat. She did pop up right to the pitcher.
Stewart, another one of these dynamic hitters for Columbia International.
And she'll take this next pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. 1-1 count.
Pretty pitch on the outside part by Alcantar.
That one got a little cut on that. That did go into foul territory. So now she'll look to try to get the signal from the catcher. Alcantor. Look to try to escape out of his inning, just giving up 1 run. Takes this pitch. I want to be on the outside. That will be called for a ball. 2-2 count.
Yeah, great eye from Stewart. And pace in the box. 2-2 count. Hitters count. 2 down. Top of the third.
As now Stewart. That is grounded right to short. 6-3 put out. Ends the inning. So CIU does get a hit. Gets 1 run, so they do the job of trying to build that lead even more. Can Montreat match this intensity, or will CIU make a quick inning? We'll find out after this quick break here with Southeast Sports Network in Kingsport, Tennessee. Bottom of the third action, Isabella Davis will return to the circle. 2 innings pitch. 3 batters struck out. Only 1 batter walked. Montreat will have Hannah Henderson, who will be making her first at bat of the day.
Yeah, Montreat still on their first trip through the lineup, seeing Davis. Henderson, the number 9 hitter. Abby White and Amaya Hernandez will follow her.
Henderson yesterday went 1 for 2. Started off, didn't start off as the catcher, then came in as a pinch hitter, then finished the game as the catcher. Had 1 run scored.
Bottom of the third, Montreat. Only 1 hit in this softball game thus far.
Great pitch right down the middle. That would be called strike.
With only 2 base runners aboard, so Montreat's got to get some base runners. Try to get back in this one.
Tried to get a good swing on that. That was missed. 2-2 count.
Yeah, nice hack by Henderson. Just couldn't catch up with it. Great pitch from Davis. Fouled off down the left field line by Henderson.
This time, Mayers tried to get a good hand on that. That is going to be popped right past her. Henderson will make her way to first. Second hit from Montreat.
Great piece of hitting by Hannah Henderson. The ball was a little outside. Didn't try to do too much with it. Just tried to get the barrel on the ball. Poked it right over the head of Dallas Mayers into shallow center field. Good enough for a hit and a leadoff runner for Montreat.
As now Abby White back at the plate. We're back at the top. 0 for 1 today. She did pop out to center field at her first at bat. And now with Henderson on first, that's a threat to steal if she wants to.
Yeah, she's got some speed. With nobody out. So far it appears they're going to use White to try to sacrifice her over to second base. No balls and 2 strikes on the batter. More than likely be swinging away right here.
Davis takes that pitch. Got some contact on that. Keeps it at the 0-2 count.
Davis doing a good job elevating that pitch. A little too close for White to take. Just try to get a bat on it to stay alive.
Also hitting the foul territory. Stays at 0-2 count. Wyatt competing at this at-bat.
Yeah, she's AAC Freshman of the Year, very talented player.
And Davis, great way to just go ahead and get Henderson, get the lead runner out.
Yeah, great play by Davis. Bobbled the ball a little bit, still had time to throw it to second to eliminate Henderson. Get the first out of the inning. Wyatt will go to first on the fielder's choice. But getting that first out is huge for the Rams.
That is going to be popped right into the infield. Second out. That was Corte getting that put out.
Yeah, easy play for Carmela Corte at second base. Ball was hit a mile in the air. Seemed like she had to wait forever on it, but did a good job staying underneath it, recording out number 2.
And that first out from Davis, I'm really a fan of how she really just had the idea to already just throw it straight to second, get the lead runner out. That is a very, for a freshman, you don't really see that. Yeah. That is a very experienced play right there.
And a very experienced play and great communication by her catcher. She was going 2-2-2, telling her to cut down that lead runner. And, you know, that's the kind of play that has to be well executed. It has to be a good throw. Mayer's coming over from short to cover the bag. And bang, bang play, recorded that out. And it was big for the Rams here in the bottom of the third.
That pitch a bit high. That will be called for a ball. So Maggie Knight, she made it. She reached on a fielder's choice at her last at bat. Takes that pitch. A little bit high in that zone.
Yeah, counts in the favor of Maggie Knight right here. Pick out one she wants.
So now she'll get some contact. That'll bring it to a 3-2 count. So full count. 2 outs on the board. CIU looking to escape.
2 outs on the board, full count. Runner's going to be in motion at first.
Davis, she'll take this pitch. Knight getting some contact on that last one as well.
This is the kind of play you can see right here. If Maggie Knight can get something in the gap to the outfield with Wyatt moving on the pitch, she's going to be standing at third and has a potential to score.
Knight, Corte bobbles that. Knight will make her way to first. So Corte, a little bit of a hard-hit ball, but had a chance to ground it, get her out at first.
Yeah, that's a play that Corte makes 9 out of 10 times. This time she'll be charged with an E4, but that allows Montreat now runners on first and second, 2 outs. Fethke coming to the plate. She had a great day yesterday, and she continues that this morning. May see a run on the board for Montreat.
You'll see a quick mound visit. CCIU's coach. Just talking to the defense, understanding the situation. 2 outs on the board. Fethke up the bat. Fethke, as you do, she struck out of her last at bat. With the opportunity, you know she's going to want to at least get a base hit or try to knock one out again, like she did yesterday.
Big opportunity here. Player that we've seen be in those situations multiple times this week, and she's been able to deliver.
That pitch outside, that would be called a ball.
Fethke ahead in the count. Fouled that one off, and she really liked it, just couldn't catch up to it.
Definitely was going for it. You know she wanted to get some contact on that.
First and second. We have runners, 2 out. Fethke at the bat.
Megan Stosenbach. Wow. Great catch by Megan Stosenbach.
Stosenbach showing that range. We mentioned it earlier. Had to drift over to right center field, caught that one over her head, and if she doesn't catch that, the 2 runs are going to score for Montreat. Great play in center field by Stosenbach.
We head into the top of the 4th. Montreat gonna have to figure out if they can slow down CIU. CIU's gonna try to build their lead even more right now, showing so much discipline on the defensive side. We'll take a quick break here with Southeast Sports Network at the AAC Softball Championships. Top of the fourth action in Kingsport, Tennessee. Macy Dry will make another appearance at bat. She was hit by pitch.
Top of the fourth, Columbia International had 2-0. Rams at the plate looking to add to that here.
And with this part of the tournament, what changes after today is there is no such thing as taking a day off if you win anymore.
That's it. That's it. You gotta be ready to go.
You'll see teams, if they win starting after today, you're going to play again that same day.
That's right, 2-1, and that's nothing uncommon for a lot of these players.
Oh, absolutely.
And the travel ball that they play, and double headers in conference, and just, it's. But it's always intriguing. I think some teams maybe are a little better at that. You're more experienced teams, but right here in this tournament, when we get down to the final 8, and it gets down to crunch time, you're going to see these teams step up, be ready for play whenever they're called upon.
And again, after today, you're going to be down to just 6 teams as Macy Dry will make her way safely to first. Jasmine Rochelle bobbled that a little bit, still trying to make the throw, but Macy Dry with the speed that she has.
Yeah, it was a great hustle down the line by Macy Dry. So as soon as the ball was hit, she dropped her head and
The catcher, number 8.
legged that one out. Another leadoff runner aboard for the Rams here in the top of the fourth.
So that will go down as a fielding error. Montreat now with 2 fielding errors on the day. So that is going to help advance a runner over. Macy Dry is going to make her way to third. She is going to be safe.
Yeah,
So instead of just advancing to second, she goes to third.
heady base running by Macy Dry. The single, the bunt attempt was fielded by the third baseman. Nobody was covering third. The left fielder had to come in and try to get the throw back from first. Heady base running by Dry, runner on third with only 1 out for Columbia International.
So if one out on the board, runner in scoring position, CIU looking to try to drive another run in. You have Carmela Corte, who's going to be up to bat.
They got a perfect opportunity here to hang another run on the board with only 1 out. But that just comes down to small ball. And you see a lot of teams do that in softball. They have a runner on first, sacrifice bunt, and then that runner going from first to second. It's just a read on her part. If there's nobody at third, she's going to go. She's going to slide. Somebody's going to have to make a great throw, great play, great tag. And Macy Dry hustling over there, getting herself 60 feet away from another run.
As you see the infield playing a bit more up for Corte on this. As you got Kell and Hernandez both about 2 or 3 more steps further up.
Yeah, they're going to try to throw Dry out at home if she attempts to go on a ground ball to the infield.
She'll take this pitch.
Columbia International scored a run earlier in this game on a suicide squeeze. I think Montreat may be expecting the same thing here in this situation.
Alcantor. 3.5 innings pitched, 1 batter struck out, 52 total pitches. That outside pitch is called for a ball. 2-1 count. coming into today, beautiful weather again. I think we got some good weather, great breeze. Sun's starting to come out a little bit now on that field. You had a little bit of cloud showing at first.
Yeah, it's either partly sunny or partly cloudy, depending if you're an optimist or a pessimist, right? One thing I'm certainly not is a weatherman, but
Absolutely.
Glad that, we thought we may get some rain overnight. The field crew here tarped the field last night, but so far so good here in beautiful Kingsport, Tennessee.
3-1 count, one out on the board. And that will be called strike, full count. Macy Dry on third.
Pretty curved ball from Alcantara there, just caught the outside corner. And this is a big out if Alcantara can record Corte via the strikeout.
And now runners in the corners. Corte makes her way to first. Batter now walked. That is the first walk for Victoria Alcantara.
And that's going to bring up Sophia Noriega, the third baseman. Single back in the second inning. Chance to do that again is going to drive in a run. Runners on first at third. Expect CIU to maybe send that runner to second. We'll see if Montreat chooses to try to throw her out at second.
Still one runner. And first, Corte will advance. Now, Dry will advance to third. Now you'll see Corte advance to Dry advance home. Corte advance to third. So right after advancing off the throw and runner advances home, that is just great. That's a great eye right there.
Great small ball, great base running. The runner on third on the bunt, the pitcher sort of looked at her. Pitcher goes to first, runner goes home safely. But, man, how about Corte on first? While all that's going on, she just goes over and takes third. Heady base running by the CIU Rams, and they lead 3-0 here in the top of the fourth inning.
And that was absolutely great small ball in that situation.
Well, you're in that situation, the third baseman picks up the bunt. The runner's halfway down the line, but there's nobody covering third. So if you throw it home, she's going to get back to third safely, and then you're going to have the bases loaded with only one out. So, they go to first, go home. That's the correct play. But great base running by the Rams gets the run across either way.
So that pitch a bit low in that zone. Called for a ball, 1-0 count. So 2 outs on the board. CIU leads 3-0.
Another runner on third, just 60 feet away.
Ooh, bounces off the leg.
It was just a hard hit ball by Guthrie right back at Alcantara. Off her leg, ricochets into left field. Cortez going to come home and score easily. Want to check on the pitcher, Victoria Alcantara, just to make sure she's okay. That was a shot.
Hard hit ball, hit right in the leg. Making sure she's okay. That is 2 runs in this inning. CIU with 5 hits. Starting to really get that offense going. Yesterday only allowed to 3 hits while being shut out.
Yeah, Columbia International. They'll put up 2 runs in their first round win over Columbia, shutout yesterday. And you just sort of had the feeling this morning they were going to put some runs on the board. And they've hung a 4-piece here on Montreat in the 4th inning. Runner on first, 2 outs. Megan Stolzenbach will be the batter. Had a sacrifice bunt in the first, tripled in the third.
So you're really seeing a multitude of combinations for this offense, whether if it's playing small ball, getting those hits through the right side, left side, into the outfit as well.
No, you're right, Deshaun. Their playbook is wide open, and they're seeing the ball well, putting it in play, and putting a lot of pressure on this defense from Montreat.
And that is a great catch by Elena Hernandez. That's going to end off the inning with that. So, popped up right to second base. CIU adds 2 runs in this inning. Can Montreat finally get on the board, make a rally going into the bottom of the 4th? We shall find out after this quick break here with Southeast Sports Network. Bottom of the fourth action, Isabella Davis returns to the circle. 3 innings of work, 3 batters struck out, only 1 walk, 57 total pitches. Michaela Reed will be leading off. Jeff, what have we seen from CIU on the defensive side to just keep Montreat at 0?
Isabella Davis in the circle is a huge plus for CIU, changing her pitches, great speed, great location, keeping these hitters from Montreat off balance and off the base paths. Only giving up 2 singles, and a lot of those, when you give up those singles, there's nobody, you have an out or 2, then it doesn't kill you. You saw CIU make an error back in the 3rd inning, but they already had 2 outs, so that error didn't really come back to haunt them, and a clean sheet thus far for Davis as Montreat's yet to score a run.
There was something you said on day 1, and I really want to point it out that I really agreed with. Although there are some great hitters in this league, this is a pitcher's league, and you're showing it because these pitchers can control these games.
Well, I think, I'm a big believer in great pitching beats great hitting. And, a friend of mine back home, Amos Hamblin, his daughter was a great pitcher, and he said if the pitcher does her job and the catcher does her job, you don't need the other 7. Now, I think that's a little extreme. I think you definitely need the other 7, but when you've got somebody in that circle who is in command, in control, and has a solid defense behind her, you can beat anybody on any given day.
And that's just great analysis from Jeff Campbell, by the way.
Well, thank you, sir.
Just Rochelle up to bat, 0 for 1 on the day. She did strike out of her last go. First pitch a bit on the inside. That will be called for a ball. 1-0 count. She'll take that next pitch. Ooh. That is going to be lined right to first.
Caden Thompson. We've seen her show off her skills on the offensive side, but how about that? Fielding the hard line drive backhand to record the out on Rachel.
Great reflex. Just glued to the hand.
And you have to have your reflexes to play first and third. In this sport have to be unparalleled. You got to be quick. You can't be afraid of the ball. And Caden Thompson flashing the leather over at first.
So now that first pitch, called strike.
Going back to your point, Deshaun, at the start, defensively, here you first 2 batters, you have a routine ground out, a hard line drive, but Thompson records the out. So 2 outs on the board, you're dealing with Dayton Kell, a very great hitter. And, if you're Davis in that circle, 2 outs already, it's a great feeling. It opens up the playbook. You can, throw your pitches. And, as long as you don't have a big miss and allow her to hit a home run, you're still in good shape.
You're in good hands. And there you go. Isabella Davis throws it to first. 1-3 put out, 3 up, 3 down. CIU halts Montreat's offense. We go into the top of the 5th where we can see CIU continue that offense, or will Montreat try to slow them down? We will see a pitching change in the circle for Montreat, and we'll talk about who that pitcher is coming back after this break with Southeast Sports Network. So now in that circle, we see a pitching change. As that is going to be number 2, Carter Thornton. She has made 2 appearances so far in this circle. Carter Thornton in the game against Johnson, 2 innings pitched, gave up 1 hit, had 1 batter walked. And then in the game against Milligan, Carter Thornton started off that game, had 2 innings of work, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, didn't strike out a batter. She was replaced by Rebecca Carson in the circle.
Yeah, Carter Thornton coming on in relief. That's a great move. I think CIU seeing the ball really well. A pitching change in this instance gives them somebody else to look at, trying to slow down the Rams.
And then with the leadoff hit.
I said try to slow down the Rams. I didn't say they were going to. Dallas Mayers laces that one into right center field. Leadoff single gets things rolling for Columbia International here in the top of the 5th inning.
New pitcher for Montreat, number 2, Carter
Just beautiful
Thornton.
action from CIU. They're just starting to really see the ball very well.
Now batting first baseman, number 18, Caden Thompson.
Caden Thompson coming to the plate after that fantastic play over at first. Fantastic hitter, lots of power from Hartsville, South Carolina. That one
And Carter Thornton.
just clubbed.
Mary's making her way to third. Caden Thompson. So Thornton so far giving up 2 hits. Thompson makes her way to second. You're going to see if Carter Thornton can really adjust.
Then it's just great base running by Columbia International. Mayers on first, sees the ball in left field, doesn't even slow down rounding second, safe easily at third, and then the left fielder throws it to third. I thought she should have maybe hit the cutoff man, or threw it to second, but that allowed Thompson to go on to second on the throw to third. So just great heady base running by Columbia International. Runners on second and third, nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. Great opportunity to hang another run or 2 on the board for the Rams.
Looking like we will see a pinch hitter, number 20, Alexis Barnes. She was the designated player on day 1 in the game against Columbia. She will now get her first go at bat today.
Barnes in that game against Columbia on Monday, 1 for 2. So already a hit for Barnes in this tournament.
So as Thornton took that last pitch, that was first pitch called strike. So if Mayers on third, Thompson on second, that is going to drop. Mayers is going to make her way home. Thompson's going to make her way to third. Another run scored.
Great piece of hitting, back to back hits by the Rams of Columbia International. And they have come out a house of fury here in the 5th inning.
Agreed. And there's still no outs on the board.
No outs on the board. Runners on first and third. Nobody out. Raleigh Stewart re-enters for Barnes at first. Caden Thompson on third. And look to see a runner in motion here.
CIU's offense. 8 hits, 5 runs scored. They're really putting it all together now.
You really are. And coming here playing confident softball in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Thornton now takes that pitch. That will go right down the line.
And that's, I mean, you want to put the ball in play. And, you know, that was a cue ball slow roller to first base, but it allowed Caden Thompson to come home easily. But the fielder's choice does retire dry at first. So now 1 out runner on second, but another run across for Columbia International.
6-0 lead, 1 out. Petty got some contact on that. That will be a foul ball called strike.
A nice bounce back here today, you know, by Columbia International. You know, had their hands full against Reinhardt yesterday.
As
There
that's
is
going right past
another.
the infield. You're going to see a runner cross her way home. Another run scored. CIU is starting to really put it all together.
They really are. I mean, you just look at this inning alone, Deshaun, single, double, RBI single, RBI on a fielder's choice, RBI single. They are just passing the bat, running around those bases, and they just keep touching home plate, and the scoreboard just keeps adding up one by one.
And they are just like that's hit number 9. 3 runs scored. I mean, their offense picked it up. I mean, first inning, 1 run scored, zeroed out in the second inning. Since then, since the third inning, they have not ended off an inning without scoring.
No, they just, that's the thing. I think in sports in general, you get some confidence if you're not teammates and it's baseball and I see you getting a hit, I'm going to expect to get a hit, and everybody's going to expect to get a hit, and it's just it grows. And it grows from game to game, inning to inning. And it has grown exponentially for the Columbia International Rams here this morning.
And you can see it. These last 2 batters that we've seen, on that first pitch, they fouled off and then they get a hit. They're looking to get contact.
Yeah, they really are. They're, being aggressive. And, this inning I thought the pitching change to Carter Thornton may actually slow them down, but they have seen something that they like. They're being much more aggressive, and it's led to a lot of success.
So now 1-1 count, 1 out on the board. Phillips did come in as the pinch runner on first. She'll take this pitch. That is going to tag 1 runner out, and double play that will end off this inning.
4-6-3 inning-ending double play. Nice execution on defense by Montreat to get out what a lot of people would call a bad inning.
So now we will see if Montreat can get that offense going right now. Only has 2 hits on the day. Try to bring some runs in, slow down what has been going on for CIU. We will find out after this quick break here with Southeast Sports Network in Kingsport, Tennessee.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet with just a few clicks.
Bottom of the 5th action. Isabella Davis will return to the circle. 4 innings pitched. 3 strikeouts, 65 total pitches. Only 1 batter walked. Elena Hernandez will be making her way up to bat 0 for 1 on the day. Davis looking to try to control everything in the circle again.
Yeah, Davis just an outstanding performance. Set Montreat down 1-2-3 in the last inning. Face batters 8, 9, and 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Lana Hernandez, Hannah Henderson, Abby White due up for Montreat.
That pitch a bit high. 2-0 count.
If you're Montreat here, big hill to climb, down 7-0, but you got to start somewhere. You got to get some hits, put some runs across, try to claw back in this thing.
As now gets that hit, leadoff batter right into left field. She will make her way to first.
Nice piece of hitting from Hernandez. Caught one out over the plate, ripped it into left field. Leadoff single to get things going for the Cavaliers here in the bottom of the 5th.
That is now Montreat's 3rd hit of the day. Hannah Henderson will make her way to the plate.
Hannah Henderson has one of those hits.
It's now Davis. She'll take this next pitch. That one high for a ball, 1-0 count.
A little elevated in the zone. Nice eye by Henderson. A pretty pitch right on the outside corner.
That's been the thing about Isabella Davis. She'll throw one of those pitches that might be a bit high. She'll come back and throw it right down the middle for a strike.
Yeah, she does a great job at changing the eye level of these hitters. The rise ball, something high, the drop ball, something low, and then the change of speed. And Montreat's been off balance all game long.
That one hit in the foul territory. Keeps it at a 1-2 count.
Appreciate you folks tuning us in here on the Southeast Sports Network. Also want to give a big shout out to Visit Kingsport. Everybody here at the AAC do such a great job running this event, and certainly glad to be a part of it.
Great hospitality they've just continued to show to us this entire week for baseball and softball. Just allowing us to have these tournaments out here and just allowing us to, do what we love and be around sports.
Exactly. Also a huge shout out to the grounds crew. I had to tarp the field last night, uncover it this morning. Chalk in the field. Elite performance from everyone involved here thus far.
That ball a little bit low and outside. That will go for a full count.
Get that back by Henderson. She's patient.
So now takes that pitch. She'll get her at second. Try to go for. Ooh.
That was a tough play, but a great play by Columbia International. Hard hit ground ball to the third baseman, Sophia Noriega. Throws it to second to Carmela Corte to record the out at second. So you retire Hernandez. Henderson reaches first via the fielder's choice. But that is a tough play.
And it helps getting that lead runner out as well.
Yeah, you cut down the runner and you record the out. So
that was hitting the foul territory, 0-1 count. One on the board. 5 innings of work so far.
Back to the top of the lineup now for Montreat, Abby Wyatt.
So now she'll go. Great catch at second again, getting that lead runner out.
Same type play, 5-4 put out at second.
Really extended that arm out this time.
Yeah, that was a nice catch at second base by Corte. If she doesn't catch that, it is in the right field, maybe deep into right field, and could have been disastrous for Columbia International. But 2 back-to-back 5-4 putouts executed to perfection by the Rams. A lot of times, so many times you'll see just that kind of play, just throw to first and try to get an out. But, to go to second and, like you said, Deshaun, cut down that lead runner is just huge in this situation. Now you 2 outs, a runner at first, Amaya Hernandez coming to the plate.
Just continuing to contain that offense. First pitch was called a ball. Did have a pinch runner on first. That is number 10, Holly Cunningham, senior, outfielder out of Meridian, Idaho. So now that is hitting the foul territory. It's one of those situations where hitting the foul territory, didn't realize it's actually right behind you.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, catcher sort of lost that one, but we will play on.
1-1 count, 2 outs on the board. Noriega at third is just.
She getting a workout.
She's just holding it down at third. She was ready to get that third out.
She was. And I like the idea of, fielding that ball, throwing it on to first, even though it's foul. Just getting those live game reps in.
So now Davis takes this pitch.
It's a pretty change up. Hernandez way out in front of that one, barely got a piece of it.
Have another go at it. 1-2 count, 2 outs on the board. Cunningham on first.
Noriega over at third, guarding that line. Expecting Hernandez to pull the ball.
Puts it at a 2-2 count. 2s across the board. Gets that hit right past Mayers. Cunningham's going to advance to third. Try to see if she can get that runner.
Yeah,
Great way for Davis to stand right there. But now you have 2 runners in scoring position.
That was a great offense by Montreat. Had a runner in motion at first, so Mayers started to go to second to maybe take the tag. The ball was hit basically right where she was standing. So single goes into left field. Then the left fielder, Abby Guthrie, throws the ball to third.
First baseman number 40.
And that allows Hernandez to take second.
Had the right idea considering trying to get her out at third just in case she couldn't, if it would a well-timely throw. That's a high IQ play.
Yeah,
Just the angle of the throw just was a bit off. I don't know if it was the wind.
Yeah, that's one of those things where, you know, if you get the out, it's great. If you don't get the out, you know, throw it to second or the cutoff and keep the runner from advancing to second. But in a first and third situation, the runner at first is probably going to go to second either way.
Hit number 4 for Montreat. After this quick mound visit, you will have Maggie Knight, who will be leading off. Well, not leading off. She'll be at next at bat.
But you have to feel like, you know, if you're Montreat down 7-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning, outs are running out. You know, time's running out. This ball game is marching on. But if you can punch a run or two across here, hold Columbia International on top of the 6th, keep chipping away.
That pitch on the outside, that will be called for a ball. Maggie Knight so far 0 for 2 on the day. Cunningham on third, Hernandez on second. Still 2 outs on the board. CIU looking to try to get out of his inning. That last pitch was called a ball, 2-0 count.
Yeah, this is the 3rd time now these hitters are seeing Isabel Davis.
Yeah, and that run doesn't really matter anyway because they're up by 7.
Now you have the advantage with Maggie Knight. 3-0 count.
Got an open base to put her. If you don't want to give her anything, she can drive. Nice pitch from Davis.
Now you sit at a 3-1 count.
Yeah, you can still sort of pitch around her here. I mean, nice power hitter like Knight. You don't want to groove one.
And Knight hits in the left center. Cunningham will score. You'll have Hernandez, who will also score. 2 runners brought in. So 2 out. So 2 out single to bring in 2 runs.
Yeah, that was a big hit from Knight. She left-handed batter. That one was on the outer half of the plate. And instead of trying to pull it, she just went with a pitch, hit it the opposite field in that left center field gap, and drives in 2 runs, puts Montreat on the board. 7-2 is their score.
So now Montreat looking to bring some more life into this bottom 5th inning. Another pitch on the outside. 2-0 count.
Yeah, a lot more energy in that Montreat dugout after those 2 runs across the plate. Isabella Davis trying to shut them down.
And Fethke, great contact on that. Hit in the foul territory.
Yeah, Fethke 0 for 2 today. Struck out in the first, flew out to center to end the 3rd on a well-struck ball. Looking to make great contact here.
Swing and a miss. That will be called for a strike. Great pitch right down.
Yeah, it was a pretty pitch from Davis. Fethke way out in front of the changeup.
Got contact on that. Keeps it at a 2-2 count.
Fethke hanging around.
Want to try to keep this inning alive.
Another foul ball from Fethke.
This time hit on the right side of the foul territory. 2-2 count. 2 outs on the board. Maggie Knight on first. Isabella Davis will take this next pitch. It's now Fethke Megan Stosenbach trying to chase after that. That is going to be hit into right center. Maggie Knight advances her way to third. So another runner in scoring position.
Yeah, great base running by Knight over at first. 2 outs. She was moving on contact. Didn't slow down at second. Safe at third with no throw. Now runners on the corners for Montreat, still with 2 outs.
Montreat now, who originally was at 2 hits, now at 6 hits. Starting to string along some offense in this 5th inning.
Yeah, back-to-back singles for Montreat here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Takes this pitch. That will be called for a strike.
For CIU, you just need an out, just 1 out.
This inning, Isabella Davis started off around 82 pitches. She is now at 97. That's going to get some contact hit in the foul territory.
Yeah, that one just over the left field fence in the grass. Another pitch a little high out of the zone from Davis.
2-2 count. Similar situation. 2s across the board.
Yeah, 2-2, a hitter's count. Reed looking for something she can drive.
This time, Isabella Davis will strike out the batter, get out of the inning, leave 2 runners on. Now CIU has a chance to respond and move their lead even further. Or can Montreat go into inning number 6, go for a 1-2-3 inning, and get their offense back on the field? We will find out here on Southeast Sports Network in Kingsport, Tennessee. All right, so we go into the top of the 6th. We have a new pitcher in the circle for Montreat. That will be number 29, Jaden Stevens. Looking at some of her numbers as she makes an appearance in this tournament. 4.27 ERA, 3-1 in the circle, 16 appearances. She has struck out 8 batters. So now this is going to be pitcher number 3 for Montreat. Montreat looking to slow down CIU's offense. You'll have Sophia Noriega, third baseman, who will be leading off the inning. 1 for 1 on the day so far. She singled right past that infield, then had that sack bunt.
Yeah, good day at the plate for Noriega. She's seeing the ball well, but seeing Jaden Stevens for the first time.
Now Stevens.
1 pitch, 1 out. Pretty efficient work thus far from Jaden Stevens.
First out, 1-3.
Fielding her position. Nice throw over to first to record the out on Noriega. That brings back the top of the lineup for the Rams. Guthrie to the plate, Stosenbach on deck.
That pitch a bit low. That will bring 1-0 count. So now Stevens will take this next pitch. And also a bit low out of the zone. 2-0 count.
Yeah, Stevens trying to keep the ball low in the zone. If you're Guthrie, expect it to start climbing a little higher.
Another put out for Jaden Stevens.
Doing it all out there, pitching it, catching it, throwing it.
So Walsh in the circle and already 2 outs on the board.
Megan Stosenbach.
Stosenbach making her way Back to the plate, Megan Stolzenbach. She's been very impactful, whether if it's a sack bunt or defensively also impactful in that outfield with that beautiful catch that she had earlier.
Yeah, Stolzenbach's a nice player. She's seen her hit the ball and make some fantastic catches out in center field. Had a sack bunt in the first, tripled in the third, popped up to second to end the fourth inning. Watches that pitch from Stevens across the plate for strike one.
1-1 count. That a bit low and outside. That is going to bring it to a 2-1 count. Stolzenbach being really patient with this at-bat.
Trying to get something she likes. 2 outs already in the inning. She'd like to keep the bat in the hands of her and her teammates for as long as she can.
We will now see with a 3-1 count. As that's a great hit on into left field. She'll make her way to first.
Yeah, great piece of hitting. Once again, these elite hitters in this league, they just take the outside pitch, take it to opposite field, and so many times young players will try to pull that kind of pitch, and it just results in a weak ground ball out.
CIU now at 10 hits on the day. Just continuing that offense at the plate. Mayers, so far 1 for 1 on the day, 2 RBIs.
Yeah, she singled back in the 5th. Sacrifice bunt, 2 RBIs. A good day at the plate for the shortstop.
Now Mayers gets that into right field. After a hit, Montreat will escape this inning, not giving up a run. So now we will see, going into the bottom of the inning, can Montreat build more on that offense, or can CIU slow them down and get something going? We will find out here on Southeast Sports Network in Kingsport, Tennessee. Bottom of the 6th action, we return as Isabella Davis will get another inning in the circle. 5 innings pitched, 101 total pitches, 4 strikeouts, 1 batter walked.
Number 34.
Overall, she's had a pretty good game in the circle.
She really has. The bats got hot for Montreat back in the 5th inning, allowed them to score a couple runs, but Davis still has a lot of command of her pitches and working very effectively out there.
And Jasmine Rochelle, she'll get that right into left field. Great put out right from Guthrie.
One pitch, 1 out for Davis.
The shortstop, number 1.
That's what you want if you got this 5-run lead.
Absolutely. Starting off, like you say, that first out is just as important as every other.
Yeah, and it does, just takes the pressure off. And for another first pitch strike from Davis.
Dayton Kell at the bat. 1 for 2 on the day. She had that single right past short. Inside pitch called for a strike, 0-2 count.
Yeah, threw that one right in under her hands, caught the inside corner. Davis way ahead, no balls, 2 strikes to Dayton Kell.
Now, that goes right past Mayer's head. Dayton Kell, 2nd hit of the day. She will make her way to first.
That's just one of the ones. I think Davis, she's not missed on many pitches today, but that one left it a little too much over the plate for Kell. She was able to muscle it out in the left center for a single. A lot of times you'll see pitchers ahead in the count like that. They'll throw one a little off the plate. A chase pitch, so to speak, but give Kell a lot of credit. Saw it, liked it, drove it, one out single.
Now that is going to be hit right into the right field. 2 outs.
Good job by Macy Dry out in right field to record that out. Had a long run to make towards center field.
So we will see a pinch hitter. That would be 0-0 sophomore catcher.
Pinch hitting for Montreat. 0-0. Elizabeth Gergen.
Elizabeth Gergen. Yesterday started as the catcher for Montreat. Henderson ended up finishing the game. So Dayton Kell at first. Gergen up to bat. Davis takes this next pitch. First pitch called strike.
Yeah, pretty curved ball right there from Davis. Started inside, worked over the plate, called strike. Quickly ahead, no balls, 2 strikes to Gergen.
So 0-2 count, 2 outs on the board. Dayton Kell on first. Gergen at bat. Looking to try to build Montreat's column. Outside pitch called for a ball. Montreat right now 7 hits.
7 hits, but only 2 runs.
CIU just continuing to escape that inning. As that is caught in the outfield. Macy Dry again with another out. So
1 hit, no errors.
CIU will escape this inning. We go into the 7th. We will see if CIU can slow down or if their offense is going to continue to move. We will find out after this quick break here on Southeast Sports Network. We now have a pitching change for Montreat. This will be number 16, Mackenzie Flores. Junior pitcher out of Winslow, Arizona. 2.40 ERA, 4-1 in the circle, 17 appearances, 2 games started. She has struck out 9 batters.
Leading off, the first baseman, number 18, Caden Thompson.
And for Columbia International here in the top of the 7th, be 4, 5, 6 hitters, Caden Thompson, Raleigh Stewart, and Macy Dry due up.
Caden Thompson, 2 for 3 on the day. Had that single into center field. Then she had that double to left center at her last at bat. Inside pitch, that will be called for a ball.
Columbia International, 5-run lead. Looking to add a little insurance here in the top of the 7th.
Another outside, this time outside pitch. 2-0 count, another ball.
Great hitter like Thompson. She's going to be looking for something over the plate. Flores not wanting to issue a leadoff walk.
That now brings it to a 3-0 count.
What's that? Yeah.
3 balls, no strikes to Thompson.
And 4-pitch walk. Kaden Thompson will make her way to first.
The DP, number 22.
So now your
Raleigh
designated
Stewart.
player, Raleigh Stewart. Alexis Barnes was pinch hitting for her in the last inning, and then she re-entered to run the bases. Raleigh Stewart 0 for 2 on the day so far. Outside pitch called for a ball.
Yeah, Flores 5 consecutive balls. Yet to find the strike zone here. She's come on in relief in the top of the 7th.
Seeing the teams make their way into the facility now as Reinhardt has made their way. And Bryan has made their way. Bryan will be part of that next game. Next game will be your number 9 seeded Columbia and number 2 seeded Bryan. Bryan took the loss to Bernal last night. Columbia rallied back to eliminate Truett McConnell.
Now, Columbia played really well yesterday after their day 1 loss to Columbia International.
And so now, great pitch in the circle right now.
The right fielder,
Mackenzie
number 12,
Flores did strike out
Casey Dry.
Stewart. So now, first out on the board. Macy Dry will return up to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day, 1 RBI. That pitch a bit low.
It was a good job by Flores to bounce back 5 consecutive balls, then works the count back in her favor, strikes out Stewart. Walt Thompson, she's still at first with 1 out.
Dry hits it right to short. Tried to go for the double play. Lead runner is out.
Yeah, nice play out the middle infield to retire Thompson at second. Dry safe at first on the fielder's choice. That will bring Lily Petty to the plate. RBI single back in the 5th inning for the Rams.
That pitch was called for a ball, bit on the outside. Lily Petty right now 1 for 2 on the day, struck out once, has 1 RBI. That last at bat was a single right pass. Second, chase the pitch that will be called for a strike.
Yeah, a little half-hearted swing from Petty called strike. Said she went around.
Now she'll take this pitch, be on the outside. 2-1 count. 2 outs on the board. So Flores looking to try to escape this inning, as that is popped up right to second. So now 3rd out of the inning with only 1 runner getting going from a walk.
Runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base.
We will now see
On to the bottom of the
if
7th.
Montreat can make that bottom
CIU
of the
leads
7th
Montreat
rally,
7-2.
or will CIU force those 3 outs that they need to advance and eliminate Montreat from the tournament. Find out here on Southeast Sports Network here at AAC Softball Championships in Kingsport, Tennessee. Bottom of the 7th, Abby Wyatt will be leading off. Isabella Davis will return to the circle. 6 innings of work, 4 strikeouts on 111 total pitches. 1 batter walked. Has only given up 2 runs. Montreat down, looking to try to figure out if they can make this late rally.
Yeah, Columbia International just 3 outs away. Glad to see Davis getting the ball back in her hands in the circle. But she will have to deal with the top of the Montreat lineup Abby Wyatt, Amaya Hernandez, Maggie Knight due up for the Cavaliers here in the bottom of the 7th.
Number 10.
Looking to stage a last inning comeback.
Here we go. Davis takes that pitch. Check swing. That will be called for a ball. So instead of Wyatt leading off, Cunningham will stay in to be at bat. So now she'll take this next pitch. 2-0 count. That on the inside will be called for a strike. 2-1 count.
Yeah, ran that one on the inside on the hands of Cunningham. Didn't do a whole lot with it. Watches it cross for a strike.
Bit more further on the inside, that would give Cunningham the advantage. 3-1 count. It's on Davis. She'll take this next pitch. Cunningham gets it right past the infield. Lead-off single. Makes her way to first.
Yeah, she does a job. Lead-off single for Cunningham. Puts a runner at first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. And I'm not going to say they're going to make a comeback, but that's how a comeback starts.
Absolutely. One batter at a time.
Amaya Hernandez to the plate.
That is going to be popped right into right field. First out of the inning.
A good job by the right fielder, Macy Dry, coming over to make that catch. She's recorded the last 3 outs for Columbia International.
Now Maggie Knight, 1 for 3 on the day, 2 RBIs. That pitch will be called a strike, stretching that zone out. So with 1 runner on, Cunningham is on first. 1 out on the board. That pitch bit high, would be called for a ball.
Yeah, and down 5 here. It sort of takes the sacrifice bunt off the table, especially with 1 out.
And that is going to be roped into the outfield. Maggie Knight's going to make her way to second. Cunningham's making her way to third.
Ground rule double. 1 hopped over the fence, deep in right field. Big time hit, another RBI for Maggie Knight.
That will be hit number 9 for Montreat.
Haley Bethke.
Yeah, I might have said that was an RBI double. There's no RBI on that one. The runner had to stop at third, so the score's still 7-2. Just a great piece of hitting by Maggie Knight.
You'll see Mackenzie Ritchie making her way to second to be a pinch runner.
Pinch running at second base.
Sophomore outfielder out of Spokane, Washington.
This is a situation here for Davis and Columbia International. Up 5, these runners at second and third, they really don't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things as long as you can get an out. Very important for the Rams here to look to get an out on every play. So
that pitch a bit low.
they will certainly keep them from scoring if they can, but
still 1 out on the board.
Important for the Rams to get an out as quickly as possible.
So now that's going to be hit right to advance a runner home. That ball a little bit overthrown. That could have been dangerous.
Well, the first play was
Yeah, great play by the third baseman, Noriega, to go to first to get the out. Then Thompson rifles it to third to try to get the runner going to third. And if not for a valiant effort by Dallas Mayers, that ball goes into left field and they score the other run. But 1 run across for Montreat makes the score 7-3. Now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Columbia International 1 out away from advancing.
Isabella Davis, she'll throw it to first. CIU will advance. Montreat season will end. 7-3 is your final score.
Ladies and gentlemen, your
That
final
offense
score
from Montreat
7-3 in favor of CIU.
had a great late rally with 9 hits, but that offense from CIU, 10 hits, 7 runs scored. That was just beautiful. Now tomorrow, CIU gets to advance. They will advance. They're going to play the loser of Johnson and Reinhardt.
With the loss, Montreat
So, potentially, if Johnson is to take down Reinhardt today, we could see a rematch of what we saw yesterday with CIU and Reinhardt. If not, then we could see Johnson advance. But we won't speak too far ahead.
Right.
Take me what you saw today in this first game.
Well, I think it was a great performance by Isabella Davis in the circle for Columbia International. And then, she allowed some hits, but, a lot of those hits came with 1 or 2 outs. Montreat couldn't really, advance runners, get runners across, and Davis just allowed her to work her magic in that circle. Very talented pitcher for Columbia International. And on the offensive side for the Rams, man, they just put on an offensive explosion. I'm looking at my score sheet: double, single, RBI double, sack bunt, just doing what they needed to do to get on base, first of all, but then to advance runners and drive runs home. And the Columbia International University Rams defeat Montreat 7-3, and will advance to tomorrow's round here at the Appalachian Athletic Conference softball tournament.
All right, we continue this day of action. Next game, number 9 seeded Columbia College versus number 2 seeded Bryan College. That will be starting within the next 30 minutes. If you are leaving us today on Southeast Sports Network, we thank you for tuning in this morning. If you are staying on, tune in the next 30 minutes. We have more action coming this way. I'm Deshaun Bullock here with Jeff Campbell.